just woke up. It's about 1:15, which is earlier than I've been waking up for the past couple days. This is my first effort at trying to get back into this whole vlogging thing, so we'll see kind of what happens today. But first I'm going to do a little bit of meditation. I might go outside into the sun for a bit. So I'll have maybe a couple hours to really do some things, and then I have a call with Tara, so I'm excited about that. Yep. Just got done with my meditation about 5 minutes ago. So I'm going to go on a short walk, probably 20 minutes or less, just kind of get out in the sun, kind of get the internal body heat moving, and then I'll probably come home and take a shower. So yeah, so be out in the sun for a little bit and listen to Jordan Peterson. But as per my meditation, I'm not really focusing so much on all the things I have to get done or all the things I'm going to do later, but instead just focusing on like this moment and the absolute next thing, but most prominently this moment, which is being on the walk, being in the sun, listening to Jordan Peterson. I feel like I had some general thoughts that kind of came up from watching listening to Jordan Peterson's talk. So the first one was the idea of it being a moral obligation, like it's a good move to pursue the things that are meaningful in your life. That was one of them. And then also it's worth taking on the responsibility of all the things in life in general that might seem tragic. I don't know, I'm not really getting my thought across exactly as well as I'd like. But I think there was another element that came up. It's like, this was when I was talking to the trees the other day. Feels like my life is kind of in like shambles. Like, look at my glove, it's starting to like peel apart. There's a hole in this one somewhere, I think. Basically, it seems like there are a lot of things in my life that are like that aren't necessarily tragic and broken completely, but they are on their way to being tragic and broken. And for example, like I haven't been to the doctor in probably close to 10 years. Just like my finances, the cars probably only has so much time left. Just like so many different situations, then there's like level and sustaining, but they're like bumpy and kind of going down. And I know that's pretty much the theme of my life in general. I mean, there are other things that are going well, other things that are like going up really fast. But I'm becoming more and more aware of the trajectory of my life if I don't make change. If I just kind of stay the same and keep the course, then things are just going to get really bad and really tragic, I guess. So that's kind of the theme and kind of the whole theme behind Jordan Peterson's content and just life in general right now, is to start embracing those things and to start doing the things I know I need to do to take responsibility for the different things in my life. And another thing that jumped out from his content shortly into the beginning, there was a segment where Jordan was talking about it's really easy for humans just in general to kind of find too much comfort in their situation and to not really grow, and that can kind of create resentment in life and create complacency in life, and that can be the cases where people just like quit their jobs and don't really do anything. There was a segue that he had, but basically I need to pursue challenge. I need to embrace challenging situations, and I need to challenge myself basically in order to grow. I'm kind of recognizing that as I now step into the prospect of moving out and moving into a friend's space, that I'm now going to be faced with a tremendous amount of inner challenge and external challenge as well. Like, just my whole scope of my life is going to change pretty much overnight or over a weekend or throughout the week. And then everything after that is going to be a whole new world of challenges. But these challenges are good because not only am I capable of them, but they will change me and force me to evolve who I am in order to maintain those challenges or to work through those challenges or something like that. And yeah, that's just kind of the general thesis of life right now, is to be willing to embrace challenges in order to start fixing my life and to start making it have a upward trajectory rather than a level or downward. So that's my walk for now. If I can push the stop button. through my gloves. I just got out of the shower a little bit ago. I'm probably going to try and find some food real quick before the call with Tara. And then I don't know, probably won't have a whole lot of time to really get into client work yet. But after the call, that's definitely going to be a main focus. Today's kind of starting to slip by a little bit faster than I was kind of wanting it to. We're just kind of not really on top of things. But I think that's just partly with waking up a little bit earlier than I had yesterday, so I'm getting into the groove. It's just taking longer than I want. Just got done with a conversation with Tara, and talked a lot about different things, minimalism, organization, lighting, just a whole bunch of different stuff, and it was definitely really good to catch up. So if you're watching, thanks for doing the call, and look forward to the next one. Which conversation also kind of prompted me to kind of get back on to doing editing and stuff like that, just kind of remembering why it was so fun for me. Her questions or prompts also kind of made me start to think about doing video, so I kind of said that I was going to be doing the videos or vlog style content in some way. I don't really know exactly what it looks like, but the other one was she basically just kind of asked me, there was a question she asked, what are like tips for organization and things that have helped me, and I kind of derailed it a little bit, so I didn't actually get into those. But then I realized it would be a good topic or a good video topic for me to do, that I could just talk about some of the 3 or 5 different things that have been most useful for my organizing needs. Maybe I could do like a physical organization, or digital organization and stuff like that. So that was kind of cool to see an idea kind of pop up. So now I have paper and I'm going to write down some first thoughts, so that maybe I actually do a video on that later. And then the other thing she kind of asked was, or requested, was to share some of my process of like moving out, getting lighting, how lighting affects me, just all these different things, like just the process of stuff. And she also talked about the prospect of doing like a Facebook Live, just kind of talking about things. But then that sort of like line of thinking immediately kind of prompted me to think about documenting the journey or the process of moving out, whether that basically could just become a new form of content or a new story to tell through my content. Maybe I kind of like showcase like the way I'm packing things up, different thoughts I have to think about in regards to moving out and moving into a new space, how I'm orienting my space, the changes I'm going to be making as a result of moving into a new space that I've never been to, new experience that I'm basically confronted with, and yeah, just like kind of cool seeing just the simple act of saying that I was going to be doing vlog style content, or choosing to do that, now makes me more aware of the other opportunities that are around, that surround that. So doing vlog content around specifically the things that are happening in my life, and it gives me a good way to look back and to create content for others that are interested or would find value in that thing. Not so much to worry about whether or not it is relevant to everyone, but instead to focus my attention and my creations on the people that actually might find value out of it, rather than try to please everyone. Thanks for the call. I just posted my Golden Conviction post on my personal website, and I had this intention to jump right into client work, but I kind of deviated into that other thing and talking with someone online for a bit. So yeah, I didn't really jump into client work quite as early as I thought, and the hours are just kind of slipping by more and more as time goes on. So right now I made some food, and instead of like watching YouTube videos, I'm going to try and like entertain myself with myself. And by that I mean gonna like do my writing stuff, journaling, might try and get a kind of rough draft of my 1-page plan again, because I want to kind of take it back to something that Joe McVean kind of brought up when I talked to him. So yeah, I'm just going to try and entertain myself with the non-digital aspects, or at least just not going down a YouTube hole like I would usually do when I watch, or when I eat, but eat, write, and then client work. So it's about 3 in the morning, and I definitely did not get quite as much done as I was sort of intending and hoping. I got a little bit more distracted on different platforms like YouTube and Facebook than I really wanted, or than was probably good. I did get some of the client writing done, but that was only like 1 page, so I think that was basically the bare minimum, so I'll still have a lot of stuff to do tomorrow. Then pretty much going to shut everything down and just kind of head to sleep. I might do some Christmas related things first, because that's the last kind of major thing, because I'm running out of time again. But there were other things I wanted to get done today that I just really didn't prioritize or didn't really work on at all. And I know that's just me kind of going around the core things that I need to be working on. It was something that was on my mind like all day, and I just didn't do anything about it. My habit is to start thinking about how am I going to fit that in tomorrow? What do I need to do tomorrow to prevent myself from getting distracted and things like that? But I think perhaps the more important thing is just to, in the moment, try and learn more, to be more present, to take care of myself a little bit more, be more connected to myself and stuff like that. I'm glad I got to talk to Tara earlier today. That was, I think, kind of like the highlight for my day. I did do my meditation and I am doing my video, and I did get out of the house to go for a walk, so that's all good and dandy. But now I'm going to have to go through and kind of reorganize specific goals, probably deprioritize other ones. A good thing that I did get done was the Unstuck Life Plan one-page thing. It wasn't really one page. So the idea was to basically kind of figure out and ask yourself, what do you want from this life? If you had a chance to do a do-over, what would you do differently? And a lot of the things that keep coming up are the same, but I was able to narrow it down to 7, and I think at this point I'm basically going to just say I'm not going to do the future authoring program, or at least not go through the self-authoring suite for a while. I think I'm going to just kind of deprioritize that as well, so that I can kind of focus my attention on different things. And then when I get an opportunity, or when I'm kind of getting into better flow and want to start breaking things down a little bit more, then I'll go through that program as a way to enhance the direction I'm going, rather than use it as a tool to figure out the direction that I want to go. Because I keep doing this habit of, I pick a direction, kind of accept that that's where I want to go, then do nothing, then reset my direction, that's where I want to go, do nothing, reset to my direction. It's just like, I already know where I want to go, I'm just not doing the stuff that I need to do to get there. Or even just to explore whether or not it's something I want to do. So I wrote about like 7 pages worth of stuff, and basically it was just kind of going down different phases of kind of narrowing things down. So my 7 things right now are heart state, growth, presence, immediacy, and experience, all summed up in a heart state, kind of following that like state of flow basically, and just following the heart and whatever the higher self kind of dictates or prompts. Number 2 is dance, West Coast swing, other dances, and teaching dance. Number 3, creative expression or storytelling, or creative expression and articulation through word, blog, video, and photography. And the word that keeps coming up, if it shows here, is being an experienceographer. Basically using my forms and my mediums of expression in order to share my experiences, both as a way for my personal growth as well as to help others in some way, whether it's just entertainment, actual steps to help people, or communicating with them so that they can kind of get their growth as well. Number 4, web tech and digital/systems. So working on websites, different tech related things on how to optimize my life and contribute to the other projects. Digital things like how I organize Chrome or things like that, and systems in general, just because like I kind of learned that not everyone is super techy and not super digital oriented, and my ability to contribute in that way might be a good way for me to give some input or some contribution to others. Number 5, design and creation and self-image. So kind of figuring out my personal style, even going so far as to actually create clothing or attire or jewelry or anything, basically anything that sort of is a form of self-expression, but through design and creation. And it can also be in the form of interior design. When I get to that point, I'm creating actual lighting, like custom LED stuff, creating new jewelry, just kind of exploring some of that stuff. Number 6 is connection and community. So all the community projects that I run, the Fort Wayne Westies, Ularity, my personal website, a community if I develop it through that. Also contributing to other communities like the Anchor Room, and then engaging with further reaching communities. And also one-on-one connection with people, like both online and offline. Number 7 is personal health and fitness. So personal health, fitness, routine, nutrition, etc. So this is kind of like the opposite scale of being on the soul level. but it all kind of integrates in that it's on the tactile scale, so all the physical sort of nitty-gritty stuff. So exercise, like weights, yoga, etc., walking and running, etc., that kind of stuff. And then also nutrition, and then I'm going to go through and add some self-care related things, which kind of ties into like meditation and some of the first point of like heart state. Those are my 7, and I keep trying to look at my alarm clock and it's not there. So it's about 3:15, so I'm going to do some last minute Christmas things, and sleep today was kind of an okay day, but just kind of accepting that I fumbled on the majority of the day, but I still had good elements throughout the day. So that's today. See you tomorrow.